go.
When you're ready.
Okay. Welcome to Hike the Y!
Yeah. Let's go!
It's Ruby the Rob Winget, and I'm back on Hike the Y.
Yes. Let's go.
So happy to be with you today. Welcome to our episode.
Dude.
Let's
Awesome.
go, dude.
I'm so
that was a
excited.
great intro.
That
That
was-
was a nice, energetic intro.
Yeah, all my previous intros now I'm kind of ashamed of. That was beautiful.
High standard.
Thank you. Thank
From Ruby.
Thank you.
All right, guys. We're going to be doing a BYU season recap today.
Ooh.
It's going to be
yeah.
fun. BYU didn't have the most amazing season in the world. There were some disappointing moments. There were some awesome moments. But we're going to talk about them all. But to get us started, I have a fun little question that I kind of want to think about.
Yeah, dude.
So anyway, after watching the UConn Duke game where UConn hit the crazy buzzer beater, I don't know if you guys saw this, but Dan Hurley, the coach for UConn, went up and headbutted a ref.
Yeah.
And I was like, what
Yeah.
in the world? And he didn't call a technical foul. I agreed with that call because I was like, you know what? In this point of the game with 0.4 seconds left, you can't call a technical foul and give Duke 2 free throws. But anyway, it got me thinking. I was like, what if we had post-game interviews with the refs? And refs did some post-game interviews. Would you guys like that? Would you guys tune in and listen to refs doing some post-game interviews?
I would. I think that would really, for me, like increase the credibility, not just in basketball, but like in any sport. If a ref is like, yeah, we saw this, we saw the hand, but we're like, that's not good enough for a call there. Or like, if there was those, like, there's the controversial moments that
They
are
can
related
explain,
to
like,
they can explain the
things.
reasoning. It's like you get the news, you get the ref analyst, right? And like he's like, I would have called that. But then to hear the ref say, we didn't call it because of the way of the game and like the trends of how we'd been calling the game until then, like, or we called it because we'd been giving him warnings and he finally went over the line and he got teched. Like he got a tech. So I think that would definitely be something that I would be very interested in watching.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think it also humanizes the refs a little bit more. I think as fans, we tend to hate on the refs when our team doesn't play as well. We blame it on the refs. And so I think having these interviews, I think it humanizes them, makes us a little less likely to yell some of the unkind things we yell from the stands. I think I would totally listen to it. I think it'd be lit.
I think I'd listen to it, but the only concern that I have is it would give a target on the referees' backs. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like it just gives like another outlet for people to kind of explain how they're feeling. Like, oh, that ref, I hate this ref. I actually looked up why don't refs get interviewed in basketball, and this person on Reddit said, for their opinion, is basketball referees generally don't get interviewed post game because leagues prefer to minimize focus on the officials and aim to keep them from becoming the story. So like after the UConn game, yeah, there's a crazy game winner, but what was the major story coming out of it? That the head coach of UConn headbutted an official.
Because that's
Funniest
crazy.
thing in the world.
And then
'Cause that's crazy.
and then the official was like, "Oh yeah, it was nothing. He was just telling me a couple of words." But when you watch the video, it's the official getting
Explicit words, most likely.
headbutted. Like, you know what I'm saying? And so it's like the referee wasn't even trying to like become the story, and he still became the story. So I feel like maybe they would have a bigger target on their back. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. I do think it would be fun.
It would be fun.
To, like, see some referees. And, like, there would be some times where, like, the reporters are just hating on the referees. Just like, how did you miss that call? And all that stuff. But, yeah.
I think it'd be. I think
be
some
cool
kind
to
of.
see.
I think some kind of press would be good though, like a release, maybe like I don't know. I don't know how that would work if not an interview, but like it would increase like the credibility and like the reasoning of it, and I think it would make us like not the average fan not hate the ref so much.
I mean, the NBA already kind of does a press release for the officiating in the last 2 minutes of every NBA game. If you ever look up the 2-minute report, they release that after
that's right,
every
yeah.
major game, and it's did the call get like they go get a whole committee of refs and they go look at the call and say, okay, was this a proper call or was this an improper call? And then they say, you know what, we messed up in the last 2 minutes of the game. I mean, it's only 2 minutes, but that is a report that already exists.
So
Yeah.
that's cool.
Fun
I forgot that.
Yeah. All right. And then before we get into it, I just want to give a quick shout out to BYU women's basketball, who also ended their season yesterday with a loss in the championship game of the WBIT. but I think they won 4 games. It was either 4 or
They won
5 en
4
route to the
games.
championship. So yeah, they didn't make March Madness. They were the first team out, but they had a fantastic end to the season.
And I would like to argue that that's almost better than making it into March Madness, because these members of our basketball team, they can go into summer being like, you know what, we ended going to the championship game for the WBIT. We played 4 games. We played really well. We played really good basketball. And I think that's better than a first round loss or even a second round loss in March Madness, because now they can go into the summer just absolutely like motivated and ready to work, getting prepared for the next upcoming season.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. Shout out to the BYU women's basketball team. They played well throughout the whole tournament. And then I'm just going to be honest, they got crushed by Columbia.
That was a tough one to watch, but Columbia they had a great tournament as well. And, just they deserve to win the whole thing, then they won the whole thing.
Yeah. All right, guys. We are now kicking off this BYU basketball season review. And I want to kick it off with something fun. Let's go to our favorite play. What is your favorite play from this entire BYU basketball season? Who's got one?
Favorite play?
I have
Ruby?
one. Maybe it's just because it's fresh in my mind because it's from the March Madness game, the one we got to play. But AJ's reverse dunk in the second half, I have it pulled up right now, and I've watched it like 4 times. It's just, I personally reenacted it. I thought it was so good. I just think
How did you personally reenact it?
I can send you the video if you want to put it on the Instagram. You can put it on the Instagram.
Let's go.
Side by side.
Comparison. But yeah, that was just it was a fun game to watch back and forth as the Cougs were trailing by a lot. But I thought it was a really good shot.
I agree. I thought it was his best dunk of the season. Like, he got up there and just threw down the reverse. It was really nice.
Yeah, just watching some of those pictures, it's like, how does his spine like arc back like that? And he's like putting the ball behind his head. It's just a great play.
And the day after that game, every other like single March Madness like commercial that they had that dunk in it. Like,
really?
They started they edited. The editing team was like, boom, it was in every video. It was awesome.
Yeah. Here's mine. If you guys are gonna have to go back all the way to the first game of Big 12 play.
Wow.
Against Arizona. Actually, no, this was the second
one.
the
First
first home game.
Yep.
Against Arizona State.
Yeah, dude.
It was late in the game. Do you know what I'm talking about,
I know what
Connor?
you're talking about, yeah.
Late in the game, AJ DeBonsa throws a pass from all the way.
Yeah. Quarterback, bro.
Yeah, he throws it all the way across the court. Rob Wright gets it. He's about to fall out of bounds. Sees Richie Saunders
Behind the back
in
bounce
the
pass.
corner of his eye. Throws it behind the back. Richie catch, shoot, all in one fluid motion. Bang.
3. It
And
was a
the
3
crowd,
ball too.
yeah, and the
Yeah.
crowd just went crazy. It was an incredible play, and I just loved that because it was teamwork. You got guys working together, and it was just highlighting the big 3.
Yeah, that's a great one. I thought of I'm sensing a trend, an AJ DeBonsa trend here, but I thought of the game against Utah at the Marriott Center when he hit the 3-pointer right before the media timeout to eclipse 40 points right before we hit turbulence. That was the loudest I've ever heard the Marriott Center, and that was incredibly hype. Just everybody's like, put it up, and he put it up, and then just everybody was chanting 40, 40, 40. Like, it was a great moment, fantastic moment.
Yeah, if I could also stay in Big 12 play, I liked Iowa State when we played them at home. When we played Iowa State, we were just coming off of a couple of rough losses to Arizona, Kansas, Oklahoma State, Houston, a bunch of other people. But then we got to play number 6 Iowa State at home. And I don't know if you guys remember, we've already talked about it on the podcast. But when Boop wanted the ball,
dunk?
but they gave it to Davis.
Kennard Davis, yeah.
Kennard Davis. They passed up to Kennard Davis, and Kennard Davis just slammed it home. And the bench just started rushing. Like, I'm glad that they
bench
called a
stormed the
timeout.
court, yeah.
Because the bench stormed the court before the timeout was even called.
They could have gotten like a tech for that.
That's probably the most excited I've seen the bench all season.
Yeah, and that's why I like it the most. It's not because Kennard Davis was dunking it. There's so many fabulous dunks. At Utah, Rob Wright to AJ DeBonsa getting a dunk, but I loved seeing the whole bench just getting involved. It was when BYU was kind of in a slump, and they had so much energy just after that game.
Yeah, like kind of going off that, what in this season was like the peak moment? You were like where you were feeling, okay, I feel like this is the time where I feel best about BYU winning a national championship. I'm just so happy with this BYU basketball team. I feel amazing. Like, we're going to win. What was that moment for you guys?
When? Like what game?
Or like any time. Like, you could say preseason when we got AJ. I remember where I was when I heard AJ sign. I was in my statistics class and no one else cared. And I was like, AJ just signed at BYU. Yes. Like,
That's good.
I'm going to think about that one.
Do you have one? Do you have one, Ruby?
No, not really. I think last time I came on the pod, I had a lot of confidence in BYU basketball. So maybe I would say after the Iowa State game, I think that just provided a lot of confidence for fans. But we were also coming off of Richie's injury, so it's kind of, I would say anytime pre-Richie injury, I would have bet that we could have been in the Sweet 16. I don't know if I would think we could get a championship at any point this season, but I think it's a BYU fan's prerogative to hope. I think it's kind of what we're made to do.
I think for me, it came in intervals this season. I always was like, it's all over. The season's over. But then it's like, oh, wait, we can come back. And I want to just share with you, right after we played number 3 UConn and we lost, we had an opportunity to win. We played number 23 Wisconsin and we won that game. And I was like, okay,
30 points, yeah.
We could win that game. 10, 15 games later, we're playing TCU, just straight W's. Like, we didn't play that that big of names, but we were playing a lot of teams. And I was like, okay, we could win. And then we lost to Texas Tech and then Arizona. I was like, okay, maybe not anymore. And then it was like, we beat Iowa State. I was like, okay, we can do it. We can do it. And then we lost to UCF, West Virginia, Cincinnati. And I was like, yeah, it's done. I remember leaving the UCF game and I was like, yeah, our season's cooked. And then we beat Texas Tech. And I was like,
That
okay,
was insane.
we're back, guys. And then we were playing against Houston. And I remember going into halftime against Houston in the Big 12 tournament. I was like, we can win this. And then we lost. And I was like, okay, well, maybe not. And then March Madness came out. And I was like, okay, you know what? We could beat Gonzaga. We might be able to beat NC State or Texas. And we could beat Purdue. I feel like they're a fake team. And then we lost to Texas. So that's kind of how my life has been in the last season.
Yeah, dude.
My chair is not working. It keeps sinking.
The life
All
of a BYU fan, just a roller
That's what
coaster,
it is,
honestly.
roller coaster season. If I had to
Roller
pick,
coaster life, let's be real.
that is true. If I had to pick one moment, I actually would say after we played Arizona at home and only lost by 3, we came back and I'm like, we've just proved that we can score. We scored, how many points was it? 11 in the last minute and a half-ish. And so I was like, okay, we can go toe-to-toe with the number 1 team in the country. I felt really good about us being able to go toe-to-toe with anybody. And then, of course, Richie got hurt, and that derailed a lot. But I did feel after that loss, going into Kansas, having played Arizona on Monday, having Kansas that Saturday, I really felt good about that. And we didn't show the greatest at Kansas either, but, losing by 8 is not disrespectable at Allen Fieldhouse, right? So I was still feeling on the up and up, and then it kind of went down with a couple losses after that. But I think after Arizona, I was like, hey, we can play with them. We can play with anybody in the country.
Yeah, I loved after the Houston game, or when we played Houston in the Big 12 tournament and it was halftime, I was just on top of the world. We were playing so well, we were hitting threes. I was like, if we can play like this in March Madness, no one can stop us. And then obviously we didn't have the great second half, but going into the tournament, I felt good, and then we just lost to Texas. So
a Sweet 16 team, by the way, so kind of takes for me a little bit of the sting out of losing when it's like when we lost to UCLA, right? They were first 4, like, gosh dang, we lost to the first 4. Then they went to the Final 4. I was like, well, I feel a little bit better about that, knowing that the fact that we were not the only team whose season ended to these guys. The same thing kind of for me with Texas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and kind of a segue from what Nate was talking about, like how you were having the ups and the downs. What was your least favorite moment of the season? I think we might be able to agree on this one. My least favorite moment was coming off the win against Iowa State and just doing jack squat against UCF, literally not playing defense at all. That was rough.
Yeah, I actually was at that UCF game, and I was on the 7th row. And at the beginning of the game, there's some BYU fans that were chirping the away team, like the fans of the away team and the away bench. And I just got to say, when we got down 34 or 36,
Yeah.
I was pretty depressed. Like at that point, I was like, okay, I might just leave. But I stayed the whole time because I had faith that we are going to come back. And we slowly did come back. We only lost by like 12. But that was the lowest point of my season. Just like the dread of being down 30 after a big win over Iowa State. I was super stoked because I thought it was a new leaf for BYU. And in fact was not.
Yeah, that was honestly a humiliating loss. Like, I have no words. But my low point was actually Richie's injury on Valentine's Day. Just absolutely devastating, just for a player that I think the whole program loves so much. I think the fan base really could get behind. It was just devastating to see his season and possibly his career end this way. Just after giving so much to BYU, it sucks that his draft prospects are not looking as good as I would have hoped. And yeah, it's just super. That was probably the low point for me. Just like, yeah.
On Jimmer's jersey retirement too. That
Exactly,
was
yeah.
tough. It was like Jimmer had to come out in halftime, and we were like, but we weren't even feeling like that. We
were not feeling hype,
because
yeah.
we were sad about Richie.
And there was like a sinking feeling too. Like I feel like the whole stadium kind of knew that it was an ACL and it was going to be season ending. But Richie, we love you. Come
do I
back to
think-
BYU. Pull a Tristan Chambliss or something from Ole Miss and
Fight
apply for another year. I bet you can
the
I bet you can
NCAA
get
in
it.
court. They'll be like, I have this. I have the backing of Ore-Ida, the tater tots. They're like, the courts are like, oh no, we don't want to mess with that.
That'd be awesome. Imagine if somehow we got Richie back. If he did all this court stuff, whatever. AJ came back. We have Bruce Branch next year. Everyone's coming back.
Stanton.
Ahmed doesn't come back. Like, what can this BYU team be?
No way.
Keep dreaming.
I'm just kidding. Ahmed, we love you. Come back, please.
Actually, he might not be able to come back from what the NCAA is saying. We'll have to talk about that some other time. But there was a proposal that came out just a couple of days ago that they would ban people who've played in the professional leagues to come down and play college. So, but it's not.
I thought that had to
official.
do
It's
with
not
like
official
drafts
yet.
though. Didn't that have to do with drafts? Like
Like if you were
if
drafted,
you're drafted, which he wasn't.
He wasn't
so
drafted.
He would be.
was not.
He would be okay.
but maybe there would be like something.
There's always hope.
there's fine print.
That's crazy.
What's next?
Guys, next we've got our player awards for this year.
Ooh.
We're gonna start it off with MVP, and I think we all know who this is going to.
Abdullah Ahmed.
Yes, I was gonna say J-Mac, but
Give me J Mac, bro.
Ahmed's up there. Ruby, you got Ahmed as well.
Who do you
No,
got, Ruby?
okay. I think we all have to say AJ for like contribution, but I think the player that just got my heart is Boop. I just love Boop,
We got
But-
another Boop lover on the podcast.
but we
Yes,
can't. I couldn't give him MVP, but AJ MVP.
Ooh,
That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Yeah, that's fair.
AJ DeBonsa. I love AJ DeBonsa, and I think he'd be MVP. But I think he'd be the MVP if he stayed. Yeah, so I'm just gonna say not AJ DeBonsa. I'm gonna say Rob Wright III, because I feel like Rob Wright was one of those players who was pretty quiet for most of the season. He was a really good second fiddle. He was always playing behind AJ. AJ would get like 40-point games. He would have crazy dunks. Rob Wright, he could just get to the hoop and get a bucket. He made a couple mistakes on the season, and there were a couple of game winners, but he also had a game winner that was just crazy. And I love Rob Wright because people just forget about him, what he was doing. He was scoring just as much as AJ on any given night, and he was getting a lot of assists. So I would say Rob Wright III, but AJ DeBonsa is a pretty obvious MVP award.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, I think there was a moment when AJ DeBonsa just took over in the second half of the UConn game. If you guys can remember all the way back to the very start of the season. And at that moment, I was just like, wait a second. BYU actually has someone who is an elite talent and who can literally take over a game, because he was making every shot and UConn could not stop him. And he was hitting threes. And I was like, okay, this kid is the real deal. And then he didn't disappoint. Like, he had a couple of games where he wasn't as good, but he just kept playing with that fire underneath him. And the Big 12 tournament, the NCAA tournament, Like he elevated his game. So I'd have to give it to AJ. And if he comes back, he gets 2 MVP trophies from me because that would just be amazing.
The Texas game too, where he was just able to take over in Texas. I sent a voice recording to our group chat, and I was like, guys, AJ DeBonsa is going to carry us into the second round, because there was a time where he had a 15-0 run. The whole BYU team didn't score, and he had a 15-0 run to get us back into the game, and he had, I think it was 1 point less than the entire BYU basketball team in that
Yeah,
whole
he had
game,
35 and BYU had 36. Everyone, all the
else had
players.
36.
Yeah, all the players combined. So AJ DeBonsa is just an absolute baller. Definitely should go over Darren Peterson.
He did lead the double NCAA in points per game with 25.5.
Wow.
Yeah, impressive. I really think he's locked himself at top 2. I think he should be one. I think the fact that it wasn't even like much of a debate at the beginning of the season, but then thanks to AJ playing at such a high level every night, and then Darren Peterson just not playing many times, he like narrowed it down to where it's now. It might depend on which team gets the first pick.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or if AJ decides to come back to BYU.
Oh man. Oh, we could talk about this all day.
It could. It's not happening. It's not happening.
The more I think about it, the more I believe. Like the FDU coach or whatever against Purdue. Like the more I watch him, the more I think we can beat him. Like
The more I see
it
him,
makes sense.
the more I think he can come back.
Like really, it makes sense. Like there's risk for injury, but he's still going to be getting money at the college level.
More than his rookie year.
Yeah, most likely. I mean, he's going to get an education. His mom will be happy.
His mom loves his Book of Mormon class. No,
Yeah.
he loves his Book of Mormon
Yeah,
class.
he loves the Book of Mormon.
So why not? Why not come back one more
Run
year?
it back, AJ.
I think it looks better for Kevin Young to get a player in the NBA than it does for AJ to come back.
Would you rather have AJ
Really?
Okay,
go to the NBA
no.
though?
Here's what I'm saying. For our ability to acquire talent long term, I think it's better to get AJ to the NBA. I think it makes BYU look more enticing to have AJ have this incredible season, despite the fact that the season didn't end great. He had an incredible standalone star season. Goes to the NBA, has a killer rookie year. Like, I think that places BYU basketball in a position to attract talent to say, oh, I should go here, develop a little bit more under this coach. With Kevin Young's connections in the NBA, going and entering the draft, I think it sets us up to be able to attract a lot of talent that's looking for not a 4-year degree, but maybe just a 2-year stop by in the NCAA.
Wait, but
That's
Ruby,
a good point.
the question.
Thank you.
But
Thank you.
here, Ruby, what if he
Gears
gets
are turning in my
drafted?
head.
What's up?
Sorry.
What if he gets drafted
going.
second overall, right?
Yeah.
He gets drafted behind Darren Peterson, and he goes to the Kings, like some bummy team that is tanking to get AJ DeBonsa. And now the Kings, now they have AJ DeBonsa, but they're not any better, right?
I'm pretty sure that's his life at BYU right now. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't think he has okay. Do you want to know what you were totally right with Rob Wright III, who is an incredible talent, but he has been carrying this team on his back. I don't think it'll look any different going to
What
the
about
NBA.
next year though?
Well, but if he comes
BYU's
back
getting
next
Bruce
year,
Branch. If Rob Wright, if AJ comes back, I don't see why Rob Wright wouldn't come back.
Yeah.
We'd have Rob Wright at point guard.
Branch.
Some big guy in the transfer portal.
I think
Like
that we could have an incredible season next season, an incredible standalone season next season. But the risk of injury, AJ would have to play 40 minutes a game again for a second
yeah,
season.
wait. There's no way he'd be playing 40 minutes a game.
maybe.
I
don't know.
I think probably.
He said he played 40 minutes to win a game.
So, anyways, I just think the risk of injury is way too high. I think long term for the program, it looks better for him to enter the NBA and have a killer rookie season than for him to stay. Imagine.
What if he stays and has a killer like sophomore season at
true.
BYU and
but
leads
also
into a national
imagine
championship?
imagine the hate that he would get, Kevin Young would get, whoever
That's true.
the program would get if he got injured. Like
Why would
next
they get
season.
hate?
Well, I mean,
AJ might get some hate for not going to the NBA, but
it's like Richie though. Like everyone's like, "Oh, Richie, he shouldn't have stayed." All the what ifs. I do see
Yeah,
where Rob's
I
coming
think-
from. There's
No
a
one-
lot of
wait,
what
who's
ifs.
saying he shouldn't have stayed? Because
What's
like
up?
I don't even think he was going to get drafted last year. Like he would have been like maybe end of the second round.
But now he doesn't even have the chance to be drafted. He'll probably have to go play overseas.
The
No,
Shanghai
he has
Sharks.
a decent chance to get drafted.
Heck
still.
yeah, love it. I have
Hey, if
my
Richie-
I have my Fredette jersey. I can put it on.
Like, yeah, dude.
We'll see. Yeah, NBA draft coming up at the end of this month.
Oh,
Or
yeah.
actually, wait, no, that's
So
that's the
AJ's
NFL draft.
NFL
It's
draft, yeah.
not
AJ, but he has to decide before the
Before
end of April,
June,
before
right?
June. Sometime in the next couple of months, AJ is going to be making the decision
Yeah.
to decide whether to go or not.
I think that Kevin Young should be encouraging him to enter the draft. I just don't think.
I kind of wonder what's going on behind the scenes with that.
I mean,
I love
he
to
still
hear.
hasn't made a decision.
Yeah.
Like, he's
Well,
really
I-
thinking about this, I think.
I would love to hear what Kevin Young would have to say. Like if he's encouraging AJ to go or to stay, because I could see him being like, okay, get out of here. Go have a good season in the NBA. We're going to get a lot more funding from we'll get more NIL money because we're going to get someone into the draft. More people are going to want to sponsor. And now you're making room for Bruce Branch, who can now have a stellar season, and then maybe another player who comes.
Well, I don't know if Kevin Young's telling him all that. I think he's just giving him the pros and cons of why he should stay, why he should go. I think he's trying to make it simple for him. But I don't know. I think it's just going to come down to AJ, and I'm really hoping his mom has as much of an influence as he's been saying, because if that's true, I think he
He could
might
get
stay.
it. He could stay.
I think there's a chance.
He could. I
So you're saying there's a
think
chance.
there's a chance. There's
Yeah.
a chance. There's a chance. Until he says
Probably not
something,
very
there's,
high.
there's a chance, but I don't know how high it is.
All right. Next player award. I think we've been talking about AJ for probably 10 minutes. Defensive player of the year. Usually this is more for like a league and you get like all the best defensive players, but who was the best defensive player on BYU this season? You're just like, okay, I'm confident that this guy is going to get a stop when it matters most. It's kind of hard because honestly, I don't know if BYU had a bunch of amazing defensive players.
I'm going to say Richie Saunders. Just on his defensive hustle by himself. The amount of defensive rebounds that he got. I don't remember like any crazy blocks that he had particularly, but just the fact that he gets the defensive rebounds and stops second chance points. He stopped them, it seemed like, in key moments. We needed to come down with a board, and he would come down with that board, and he would play defense. He would not let them get to him in transition. Like he was a relentless a relentless defender every inch of the floor, and that was just something that BYU really missed when he left, and we really never recovered from that. You could argue for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I'm thinking Kennard Davis, and he definitely had a bipolar season when it came to defense. I think some games he was pretty good, but I think one game that comes to mind is against Arizona and Iowa State. Those were back-to-back games. The second time we played Arizona, we were down in the second half, but we had it within 4, I believe. It was like 6-4, and he made back-to-back-to-back stops against Arizona, causing turnovers, just causing chaos, and just being able to step up big. I always loved seeing him stepping up in big moments like that. I don't think he was always that consistent, but I think he was one of the better players that I would say I would rather have him as a defensive player than an offensive player. You know, like AJ, he was a good offensive player, kind of defensive player. Same with Rob Wright. Like Abdullah Ahmed wasn't either. But like
Was what?
he was a good bench player. But then like
A bench player.
a bench warmer. But Kennard Davis Jr., he was just one of those.
So many strays for Robin today.
You started it.
That's a good point.
Lock in.
but Kennard, thanks, Rob. But Kennard, he was always able to just cause turnovers, just get the ball out of the hands of the offensive, of the offensive attacks.
Yeah, when he was on, he was on.
Mm-hmm.
Like the last couple of games of the season,
He was
I
not
didn't
on.
see anyone getting on. After the Texas Tech game and in the Big 12 tournament, he was making some great
He was
defensive
on, yeah.
plays. I'm gonna go with Dominic Diamande.
Really?
I feel like
Defensive
this-
player of the year.
This is a.
Okay.
I mean,
Of the year?
I'm just gonna give him a shout out. How about that?
I would say of the,
Okay,
of
give a
the,
shout out,
of
give a
the
shout out.
last
he
10
didn't play
games.
for the whole year.
We'll listen.
It feels like exactly like the Trey I'm forgetting his name. The guy from last year. I will get that name later. But he jumps on like at the end of the season, and what are you guys mouthing?
Go ahead.
Okay.
Keep going.
Anyway, he just locks in at the end of the season. The only reason he's playing is for defense, and he's getting 10 to 15 minutes a game. And so that just shows Kevin Young completely trusts him on defense, and that's the guy I want making the stop.
Interesting. I mean, I like Diomande.
I'm surprised. You've been loving Diomande all season, so I thought you would love that take.
I like Diomande in the Big 12 tournament. I think he had so many steals and just being able to lock up outside of the arc. I think outside of the three-point line, he was phenomenal. But when he was inside, he wasn't as good. And so I like Dominic Diomande. I don't think he played enough to be a potential player of the entire
he didn't have the
year.
minimum 65
you know what I'm saying?
games for the NBA.
Bro was probably player of the last 10 games. But for somebody else who's a little bit more consistent, I don't know if Dominic Diomande was who I would go for. I think if he runs it back next season, he would be a phenomenal potential player of the year.
Oh, yeah.
Trey Stewart is the guy, by the way.
Oh.
Phenomenal defensive player last year.
Cool.
Awesome. Okay, and then we got one more bench player of the year coming off the bench and doing work on the
Boop.
court. Hadim Boop, why?
I just love him. That's all I got. I think he just has an incredible Ruby the Rob Winget's favorite term, synergy. He has an incredible synergy. He's awesome.
The vibes, the energy.
Yeah, he just brings an incredible energy to the court. And he's fun to watch. So I'll say I always get excited when I see him coming off the bench.
Ooh, fire take.
It's really only BYU's only bench scorer, I feel like, consistently throughout the season.
Really? Okay.
Well, who else?
I would say Kostic.
Consistently throughout the season?
Consistently throughout the season.
That's your pick, not Boop?
I would say Boop.
You were
Boop.
hating on me for the Diomande take,
Hold
and now
on.
you're going to take someone who only played the second half of the season?
No, Kostic played in the first half of the season.
No,
Kostic,
he played like 3 minutes a game.
Exactly. And he would go in for 3 minutes a game and he'd get 3 points. Kostic was one of those players who he could get subbed in at any given game and just make a three. Like,
Okay, Nate, I don't think you're right.
Yeah, Kostic was getting subbed into games and he would only have like 5 minutes. I'm going to pull it up right here. Alexei Kostic. Give me a second. I'll just cut this in post.
They're both looking up Kostic right now to see who's right.
I've got the game log.
Here too.
Okay, I gotta.
There you go. That's better.
Okay, here we go. Ready? Are you ready?
We're ready.
I'm gonna count how many games he had 0
Against
points.
UCR, he had 15 points
Incredible.
and he played 22 minutes. Let's see. This game, 8 minutes, 3 points, and that was EWU. Against Arizona, 6 points, 8 minutes. Against Colorado in overtime, 15 minutes, 6 points. Against UCF, 27 minutes, 14 points. West Virginia, 12 points for 30 minutes. Like, I think this
He
one's
played 30 minutes and got 12 points, and we're calling him the bench player of the year.
name another bench player.
He also had 12 games, 0 points.
Yeah, but he also had 12 games where he had like 1 minute.
I respect Nate's take.
That's my point.
I respect Nate's take because our bench was like the shallowest bench that I've ever seen.
Yeah. But it's like Arizona. He played 8 minutes and he got 6 points.
I
in
can't
8
believe
minutes.
the biggest Boop lover on this podcast is not giving this award to Boop.
I would say I love Boop coming off the bench to get a rebound. I don't love Boop coming off the bench and getting points. And I think what BYU needed the most was points. BYU needed people to come off the bench
Really?
and hit a couple big threes. Boop wasn't that person.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess I'll just disagree
I'm
with your
standing
take.
on
I think
business.
BYU needs some defensive help. But yeah, that I guess it's fair. You'd be my second pick.
Okay, good. This has turned into a debate podcast. We're all just like,
All right. So I'll calm down. I would say prior to Richie getting hurt, I liked Boscovich off the bench as a bench player. I don't know if he ever really fully
And I feel
developed
like
as
in
a
like the
star.
2 or 3 games after he got hurt. But then,
Yeah, but like I didn't love like when he was a starter role, like that kind of like he wasn't the same player because his role had changed and he didn't really fully adapt into it. But I didn't hate him off the bench when he wasn't starting. I thought he did. I thought he played solidly enough on both sides.
Boscovich.
Are you
Good
gonna
take.
start hating on Connor?
We're gonna respect everyone's takes. Go ahead.
Give
I
me
also-
KJ Perry.
Dude, I also said this is the shallowest bench I've ever seen. Like,
Yeah.
It is.
I think we just named everybody on the bench while trying to say who gets the bench player of the year.
Yeah.
So really, either all of them get it or nobody gets it.
I think this award clearly goes to my man Hadib Boop.
Yeah.
Just brought the energy, came off the bench. I don't know if he ever started. I think maybe he started one game. I'm not completely sure. But he
Maybe.
came off the bench, and he was
Brought the energy.
exactly what any coach wants. Brings energy on defense and gets the crowd hype and gets the team hype. As a coach, if I want one player, I want him coming off the bench, and I want intensity. That's the one attribute I want. And Boop brought it every time, whether
yeah.
for good or whether for bad.
To put me in, coach.
And
So, yeah,
and he
we
brought
gotta
it.
give it to Boop.
He brought it against Texas Tech in the last home game. He also had 10 rebounds in the game against
Oh,
Iowa
so now
State.
you're loving on
Guys,
Boop.
I'm just
Wow. Okay. Can I add my own Player of the Year award that we didn't talk about?
yeah, sure.
Mr. Congeniality. I think McGregor, just for a soft,
I love it. I love
just for
it.
a soft human interest story, the story of him like every road game going and visiting these families and ministering. Has anyone read about this?
No, go ahead.
I sort of know what you're talking
Tell me about it, please.
Okay, we don't have time to go into it, but everyone, I invite you to go and look up this. It's so cool. Basically, every road game, he tries to find a family that's like recently gone through a tragedy, whether it's like loss in the family, like natural disaster, losing their home, something like that. And he goes and he visits the family, delivers BYU gear. And it's just a super cool story. I just think he's a cool person. Just a great soft human interest story to tug on the heartstrings of those female BYU fans. Mr. Congeniality. I don't think we're
And
gonna.
those male too. You can say.
And the male BYU fans too, I guess.
Wait, what is congeniality?
Congeniality. It means like
Congeniality.
likability.
Oh,
Likability. Mr.
Just like,
I like it.
just like a good soft human interest story that you want to cheer for him. You want him coming off that bench just because you like him as a person.
Yeah.
Can't talk about his basketball
like it.
ability much, but I do think the story of him doing that ministering when on the road, I think is super cool.
That is
Yeah.
awesome. And the fact that like you don't really hear about it means that he's not doing it for the story.
Exactly.
There's people that could do it. He might do it for the story, not if we didn't. I didn't hear anything about that either. So
Yeah. So
that's
anyways,
spectacular.
everyone look it
I love
up.
it.
I don't know where I read about it, but I read about it somewhere. I think I heard about it on one of the other BYU podcasts.
Yeah.
Love it.
All right, guys, we got 1
Oh,
point left,
okay.
and then we're gonna
Quick.
finish up this podcast. I know Nate's trying to shut me up, but it doesn't matter because I got one more thing I want to talk about.
Clip that.
Is this season a disappointment for BYU? Coming into the season, Final Four expectations, all of the stuff. At the end of the season, would you classify this season as a disappointment? Yes or no?
No.
I would say no.
No.
I think given everything, the injuries and whatnot, I think it's not.
You're not.
I'm not disappointed. I'm not too disappointed with how it turned out. I think, still making the tournament is a big deal because we all remember the eras when we didn't make the tournament. And like to have the tournament become like, we didn't really have to question it either this year. Even with the injuries and some poor performance, we were never on the bubble. We were always going to be, and we ended up getting a 6 seed. And I think that for me is a good season. I think disappointing season, you're talking on like the level of like, you have
Utah.
You have like Utah. The expectations were not as high for them, but like Auburn, like they were a projected Elite Eight Final Four team. They made the NIT. They played mid the entire season, really. So I think like BYU comes in, has some injuries, and still wins 24 games. That's not too shabby of a season in my mind.
Yeah, I know in 20 years, I'm going to look back and I'm going to be like, remember when we had AJ DeBonsa?
For the one
And-
season.
Yeah, well, hopefully for more than one season. But I'm going to be like, remember
get your
when we
hopes up
had
too
AJ DeBonsa and we had such a good team and it just never clicked and we couldn't get everyone healthy. And I'm just going to be like, what could have been? And so that's how I classify it as a disappointment. I'm sure the BYU basketball coaches and stuff are like, you guys did what you had to do. You did what you could. Like we had so many injuries, but I mean, I'm disappointed. I'm sad. I wish BYU was still in March Madness right now in the Final Four.
Yeah, me too, of course. But it's kind of like what Giannis Antetokounmpo said. There's a reporter who asked, like, was this like a letdown of a season? And his response was like, I mean, if what did he say again?
He was like, you know,
Yeah.
He's like, if you're an accountant or something like that. He said something like random. He's like, if you're an accountant and you don't do as well as you thought you would, does that mean you're going to get fired? No. I mean, maybe if it takes a really long time. But sometimes you just have a bad season, and sometimes you they thought you were going to do better than you. Yeah, never mind.
It's like a learning experience. Is
That's
kind of
what
what
he
he
said, yeah.
An
is
accountant
at this
would
point.
get fired if they did a bad job.
Yeah.
But
I don't know what I'm talking
Well, if
about.
they did like slightly worse than expected, they'd probably be okay for one more year. Just like a stern warning from their boss, like you gotta do better.
I just realized that, you know what? Yeah, it was a letdown.
am I underwhelmed? Absolutely. Did I have way high hopes that were completely demolished? Absolutely. But am I proud of the grit that our Cougars showed us with all the setbacks that took place? Like, I think the grit and the determination to keep going out and winning games and losing games, but trying our best. I think, honestly, I can't be disappointed. I can't say it was but I was let down. So I guess a mixed answer?
Yeah.
How do I feel about that?
Letdown season.
Cut out the
emotionally.
UCF and Cincinnati.
Cut out every
game.
loss and it was a great season.
Oh yeah. Like at the
Amen.
like the first 20 games where we were like 17-3, wonderful season. Like let's just leave it after our loss to Arizona and just cut it there.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like when you get a hot dog at a baseball game. One hot dog is awesome. The second hot dog, always horrible. So we should just finish the
What are
20
you
games.
second hot dog is horrible?
That's another
We could
podcast
have it.
episode.
I've had like 5 hot dogs at a baseball
Thank
game.
you for tuning in to Hike the Y. We'll see you again. This is your favorite guest star, Ruby the Rob Winget. Feel free to subscribe. Yeah, thanks for coming.
We
and
are on
listening.
Apple
Podcast.
Yeah, Apple
Podcasts
Podcast.
now. Show up.
Go dogs. Sick 'em.